Hi there. For a couple of years now I've been using the ZWO Manual 5-position filter wheel, and I've recently just upgraded to the ZWO EFW electronic filter wheel, basically a USB connected ASCOM compliant filter wheel. So this short video is just a compare and contrast and a demonstration of the EFW working connected to USB port through an ASCOM driver. I hope you find it of interest. Thank you. To provide some context to the filter wheels that we're going to be discussing today, I just thought I'd come out here to my observatory and show you my existing setup. I think it can be described as a very classic imaging setup that I've got here hanging off the back of my Celestron C11. But let's just have a look at some of the major components. So here we have the f6.3 Celestron focal reducer and a Ryan off-axis guider, my existing manual filter wheel, notice the opening which I'll be returning to on this video, and my imaging camera. Just for the sake of completeness, this is a ZWO mono camera with USB port because it's USB powered and an ST4 port connection. This is my ATIC mono camera with USB and power. So here are the two filter wheels, the EFW and the manual filter wheel, which I took off my setup, which we saw earlier. The criteria I used to select a new filter wheel was I had to reuse my 1¼ inch filter wheel set, which was a ZWO LRGB filter set, and obviously I wanted something that was as light and as small as possible, and I wanted something ASCOM compliant as well, and I'll demonstrate the reasons for that in a minute. And obviously you want something that's smooth with a minimal jiggle during slot engagement. So let's look at the physical aspects. They're both very well made. And size and weight wise, well, the weight, the EFW I put on the kitchen scales about 350 grams, the manual one about 200 grams, so both very light. Dimension wise, that's about 110, that's 110, that's just under 110, so that's good. Obviously there's a slight additional step there, shouldn't be a problem. But the main difference is this open slot here. Now obviously that is here so you can change the filter wheel on the manual version, but any light, dirt, frost, dew can also get in through this gap, which can cause you problems. This is completely negated by the EFW because it's an entirely enclosed system, which is excellent. So on the ASCOM front, let's just have a quick look at an application that I wrote to use the ASCOM, and then I'll demonstrate the movement of the filter wheel. This is an application I created in .NET for actually controlling my mount, my EQ6 mount through ASCOM. And I've just added a filter control tab to it. It's obviously not finished yet, but it'll do the job for this demonstration. So we select the filter, which is the ZWO filter wheel. The driver for that comes on a CD with the filter wheel. And I was going to connect to that. You get a dialog box come up which allows you to name your filters. So you can change this to anything you want. I've just put LRGB and the fifth one is empty. So that's now connected. My application has read the information from ASCOM, and I've just done a quick diagrammatic representation, populated this list box here. Now the things to note is these previous and next buttons, so I'm going to be using these to move the filter wheel. So I'm just going to move the camera back to the filter wheels and then I'll demonstrate the actual filter movement. So I'm now going to do a couple of nexts. I don't know if you can hear that, but it's very quiet, very smooth. In fact, if I hold it and do a movement, There's hardly any inertia whatsoever in the movement. It's very smooth, minimum jiggle. Very pleased with that. Just do a few previous. So there we are, that's the ZWO EF filter wheel.